Welcome to the Black Delegates podcast. Today's date is June the 24th, 2018. We are on episode 20.
Yeah.
Episode 20, fellas.
Numero 20.
Yeah, I am your host, Black Ryan. I'm here today with G Finna. What's up?
What's good? What's good?
And Wine Papi himself, Paul.
What's going on, fellas? What's going on?
Nothing much, man. So, all right, I guess a little housekeeping. I heard from a little birdie that it's a few haters out there that apparently don't like my intro music and wanted to know when I was going to change it.
Switch it up.
I switch it up every 10 episodes, haters. So don't worry. This episode, hopefully you liked it. If you didn't, you got to wait 10 episodes and it'll change again. At least until I find out what intro or outro fits the podcast the best. That Drake song started to get too popular, but I really like that beat. But I got a couple people on it. I was actually going to hire somebody to do a beat. He sent me a couple. We ain't like it, and I ain't heard back since. So I don't know if he was offended that I didn't want to take the two options that he sent me. But he cool. He probably just busy. So we will try again at a later date. So
yeah, let us know what you think, guys.
Yeah.
I'm gonna ride with the haters. I wasn't a big fan of this last intro music. I did not make a big fuss about it, but I thought when you first changed it, I thought it was like a Beyonce song because the first episode was a Beyonce episode. So I was like, oh, okay, got a little Beyonce song for this episode. I'm like, cool. And then the next episode when it was back, I was like, oh, this is the song for real. So, and you told me, what is that, Wale? Is that from Wale, you said?
Yep.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan. It was real gospel-y for me. It didn't get you in the mood to be, like, energetic. But I was just like, well, we'll just see. But, a couple of people, I'll out myself, a couple of people came up to me and was like, yo, when are y'all changing that music? And I was like, hey. And the first person that came, I didn't really say nothing. The second person that came, I didn't say, and the third person, I was like, all right, it seems like a lot of people not liking this, so went ahead and relayed that. I figure I relay all the hate mail to Wine Papi, so I figured I got to relay the hate mail for the intro.
Spread the hate around.
Right,
I got you.
Right.
It's fine. I don't take it personally. I figured as much because y'all didn't say nothing about it. So
it's something I've known for 20 years now. Ryan has bad taste in music. That's what it is. Ryan has bad taste in music. What can I say?
Whatever. I listen to what I want to listen to. And it's all about a vibe with the intro music. So I'll figure something out. This time then, since y'all don't like it, it's too gospel-y, I'm going straight up gutter. So
oh yeah, I'm all for some trap music on here.
The most ghetto song I can think of. I might get some 3 6 Mafia on there. And I don't want to hear nobody complaining for 10 episodes.
I ain't gonna hear no complaints out of me.
Yep, it's gonna be it's gonna be something that we played at that
slop on my knob, on the cob. Check in with me and do your job.
No,
you know the rest of the words.
It's gonna be the other song that I can't even say on here because it'll be edited. Blank and blank. That's the one. That's the beat I'm gonna get.
Okay.
Yeah. All right, so let's get into it. This week in Blackness. Let's see how we want to start this off. Let's start with Paul.
Man, okay, this is gonna be the shortest week in Blackness ever. My week was
right.
Carlton Banks Black. Carlton Banks Black. Everybody, okay. I literally did nothing. It was so hot. I did not want to go outside at all this whole week. Thank God for a little bit of World Cup. So that was pretty much the only thing that was somewhat exciting to do this week was watch World Cup. But man, it was so hot here, so hot, humid. I did not want to go outside. I was inside the house for like 2 days in a row. And finally, I just looked at the kid, and I was like, man, we got to take you outside because you haven't been outside in 2 days. I felt bad for him. I took him to the playground once. Man, he just walked in one big old circle around the playground, didn't touch anything, and just took me by the hand back to the car and said, man, put my feet back in this car. It's too hot out here, man. I ain't trying to be out here with you. You an idiot. So we walked out there. I was like, come on, man. You want to swing? You want to do this or that? He can't really talk just yet. And he just kind of like looked around, and we just out there in the hot sun. There was no families out. Usually this playground is like super packed. There was like one family out there, one mom with like two 10, 12-year-old kids. So we definitely had the youngster out there. He just walked in one big circle and took me right back to the car. I said, man, get me up out of here. So we rolled up out there and got some ice cream, man. And that was it. It's just been miserable all week. Haven't wanted to go outside. Haven't wanted to do anything. So I got nothing, man. I got nothing. It was a very boring week. Next week should come up, be a little better. I start my new job tomorrow, and I got to go to DC for that job for a couple of days. So I'll be doing a little traveling this week. And that's about it, man. Got nothing else for you. Sorry. No blackness for me.
All right, good. So
He said good.
right, good. You gotta make up for that 13-minute book that you wrote last week. So, what about you, Phenom? How was your week?
Man, my week was good. My week was so black that I had a difficult time paring it down and figuring out how many of these super black topics that I was going to talk about today.
You must give a black person scale of how black it was.
Man, it was
That's going to be the Black Delegates thing. You got to use some
Crunchy black.
Oh, well, on the scale from 1 to 10, I mean, it's 10. Easy.
No, a person. A person.
That is crunchy black.
No number, but a person.
Oh, yeah,
How black was
crunchy.
it?
Yeah, crunchy definitely
Crunchy
works.
black?
Crunchy
All right.
black.
Okay.
And so I was sitting here thinking, because I'm trying to limit it down to how many of these stories that I'm going to tell, because obviously I don't want to go 20 minutes like Paul did. So I thought about it, and I'm like, okay, got all these black things that happen. Like, what is the black number? What is the magical black number? And after I thought about it for a while, I came up with 2. Okay? And the way that I found 2 as the black number, greatest rapper alive is who? Tupac. I know y'all might disagree.
What? I thought you were going to say 2 Chainz.
No, well, that's another part of it.
How are we gonna have a
Rapper
conversation
that
about Tupac
people-
and 2 Chainz?
No, a rapper that people like.
Okay.
2 Chainz. Kevin Gates had 2 phones.
2 Live Crew.
2 Live Crew right there. So another thing today is we had our pastor's anniversary.
Uh-oh.
And I'm not going to go into full detail because we've talked about anniversaries.
Which one's worse,
at black
pastor
churches.
anniversaries or church anniversaries? Which one's worse?
Both of them. They're equally terrible.
No, you got to pick one. Which one's worse?
They're equally terrible. There is no answer. It's the same thing. And so with that today, we had the pastor's anniversary. So we had 2 services, of course. One at 11 or 10:50, one back again at 3 p.m. I was at church literally from like 9. No, I got there about 10, from 10 until 6 p.m. Like, that's how long I was at church today, with a break to get lunch.
Yeah.
So, without going into too many details, I'll just give you 2 examples of extreme blackness from the church today. So, number 1, we had a lady who comes up. We had this little section during the pastor anniversary where they talk about what does a pastor mean to me. And they used to have little kids come up, like 4 or 5 little kids, and tell things, or they would have, 2 or 3 people from the congregation. You tell 3 to 5, about 2 to 3 minutes what your pastor means and move on. Well, this year they like, all right, we're going to have one person do it. It's supposed to be like 5 minutes long. This lady went 25 to 30 minutes.
Oh, we got a Paul up in there. Okay.
Wow.
Yeah. And again, this is one section in a whole program, again, that we come back at 3 o'clock, do the whole thing. And so she went for 30 minutes talking about her whole life story. A lot of it, half of it didn't have nothing to do with the pastor. So we're just tired, like, oh my gosh. So the second thing about this particular service is we had I think this was actually the guest pastor's brother. At least that's what we thinking. We're not positively sure. First of all, this brother, he's sitting up in the front row, and he had on like some shorts and whatever. I don't know if he had a polo or a little button-up shirt or whatever, and a little like Kango style hat. And he had on. He's an older guy. I mean, not that old, but he's whatever in his 60s or something. And he had like compression socks, like knee-high compression socks. So I'm like, why you got on shorts? And then you got socks all the way up past your knees.
Swag.
So
swag,
second,
swag.
he was filming his brother. He was filming the preacher, doing the sermon or whatever. Now, first of all, the guy who preached, took his phone back to, because I'm on the AV team. He took his phone back to the dude on the soundboard and gave it to him and was like, "Hey, I need you to film me." And he sent the phone back like, "No, we got cameras." Like, no, I'm not doing that. So this dude was sitting here filming in the front row, had his phone just up the whole time, filming his brother. But the crazy thing about it, because you see people film in church, now it's
normal,
acceptable.
Actually,
now
every Sunday for us.
Yeah, for you to film. But this dude was filming with the selfie camera. So he was turning the screen of the phone to whatever he was filming. So he's holding his phone screen out. I'm like, dude, if you can't even take the video right, you're not supposed to use a selfie camera to take video for 3 hours or 2 hours or whatever. Like, what are you doing? And so he's turning it, to the audience and filming the audience with the screen towards him. And it's just hilarious because he's in every shot that we got in the camera, like holding his phone up and yada, yada. So that was one thing. So the second blackest
That's
thing.
very black.
Yeah.
Very black.
And this is going to outdo it. And I'm not even going to go into a lot of detail because
I thought that was the second thing.
No, that was the first.
Okay.
The church anniversary. So the second thing, I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because it's family stuff and there's some sensitive stuff in there. So I'm not going to go into a lot of detail, but I went to a funeral earlier in the week. I think it was Monday or maybe Tuesday. Maybe it was Tuesday. And appreciate it. And I told you that my magical black number today is 2, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is the first funeral that I've ever been to that had 2 programs.
What?
And when I say programs, I don't mean like there were 2 separate funerals, but there were 2 separate funeral programs with obituaries,
drama.
with orders of service,
what is this?
Families,
with chosen speakers.
No, separate families, a whole separate family.
Yeah. So that's really all I'm gonna say about that. And we did, of course, have somebody who spoke for 30 minutes up there as well. That funeral ended up being like, what time did it start? Started at like 11. I think I got out of there at 1:30. 1:45. At least that's when the funeral part was over, and then we went to the burial and stuff like that. So it was a really long. It actually was good, but it was really long. But it's the first time I've been at a funeral where there were 2 funeral programs.
So were you obligated to stay for both? Did people stay for both, or did they leave?
No. You're not. No, you're not.
Concurrent.
You're not getting it. There were not 2 separate funerals, or there weren't 2 separate. When I say programs, I'm talking about the paper they give you with the obituary, with the order of service. So 2 factions had their own, but then the pastor kind of merged them together into one. So there was, like Paul was saying, there was just some drama that led up to that. So it was 2 different people, or they were handing out 2 different funeral programs when you came in.
Oh, like literal okay.
Yeah,
all right,
the paper
right.
programs.
Gotcha.
Yeah, like this is him with his family, and this is the other.
2 different obituaries.
I'm
2
just assuming what's
different,
going on here.
Okay.
Yeah, 2 different pictures, 2 different.
I've been to a
orders of
couple
service.
funerals where there've been some drama, and it's not fun. It's not comfortable. I've been to some funerals with some drama. In fact, some of my family members were like right up in the middle of that drama, and that is not fun. I've also been to a black funeral, where a dude was taking pictures at the funeral-ish and then sent us the pictures. Like, no, I don't want to see my father-in-law in the casket. That is weird. That
happens a lot.
I can beat you with that.
I saw somebody take a selfie, bro, with the dead person.
Yeah.
Man,
No
that is
lie.
that is
No,
that's
at this
crazy.
funeral, there was a dude who was taking pictures and mainly doing video, but this dude had this super bright LED light that was just shining on everybody. So it'd be like you sitting there trying to watch the program, and you just feel this bright light on the back of your head, and you turn around, and this dude with this camera with this big old light just shining on everybody. So it's like, come on, man.
Man, legit, that should be outlawed, man. Like, hey, and also legit, this is why when I die, I'm being cremated. I do not want anybody to come here and take no photo or nothing of me shining some light in one of my loved one's face. Man, get that mess out of here, man. I'll get up out of the casket and kick your ass if you do that.
I'm a demand to see your body, Paul. It needs to be there. I want to see it there
man.
in the
Hey,
casket.
you ain't go-
because otherwise, you just faking your death, man. I already know it.
Toss me in the ocean, like Killmonger. Toss me in the ocean. I'm good, man. I don't need nothing. I don't want no. Look, my wife's family owns a funeral home, so I know how all this goes. I ain't trying to spend all that money, man. You know me, I'm cheap.
Yeah, I'm the same.
Toss me in the ocean. I'm good, man. Just toss me out there for the vultures. I'm good to go, man. I don't care. I don't believe in all that mess. I don't need no headstone, none of that mess. Ain't nobody gonna come visit it anyway. Just toss me in the ocean. I'm good.
I agree. Let the record show that I also want to be cremated. Because ain't nobody gonna come to the graveyard to see me. And if they do, that's a waste of your time. Past one generation, no one ever does, man.
Man, it depends though. It depends on like how you go.
Really?
Because if you just go, peacefully, if you just go from whatever, ankle cancer, then nobody's going to come visit. But if you get like beat over the head by the police, then people going to come visit and they're going to leave balloons and roses. So.
Well, yeah, I mean, more a racial divide situation.
I'm definitely going to leave some. I'm definitely going to leave a transformer wherever Ryan gets shot at. He don't want no teddy bears. He don't want no flowers. He's going to want some transformers laid out there. So I'm going to leave some transformers out there for Ryan.
Yeah, that's what's up. Favorite transformer
Darth
is
Vader
Starscream, dog. Put Starscream out.
That's right.
Every March 34th, I'm going to come lead that Darth Vader helmet.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Quark's rules of acquisition, just leave it out there for him. He'll know what to do with it.
That's right.
Right. Well, what about you, Ryan? How was your week in Blackness?
Man, my week was normal up until Sunday, of course, when I go to church. And once you hit a church day, that's where the Blackness really comes out for me. Unfortunately, this whole what should be my week in Blackness has happened twice in a row. Same person. And I can't speak on it on a podcast because I don't want to ruffle any feathers, or I don't want anybody to think I'm talking about somebody negatively. But the stuff that's being said is hilarious. I'm sorry. So it is what it is. I'll talk to y'all about it offline, so y'all know about it.
You can't be teasing our listeners.
Yeah,
like
yes,
that,
I can, man. I would bossa nova.
Teasing our listeners.
If I was stealing something from the Back in Black podcast, I would bossa nova this, and we would just play some music and then tell the story again, and 100% of the story. But I gotta leave it where it is. So I guess
you know what's funny about situations like that. Won't go into details, but it's basically like a ghetto story, right? And I was talking to a friend at church today about it seemed like when one person get up and says something hood, especially about their past. I used to be like this. We got ministers that say, oh, and I used to be drunk, or when I used to use drugs, yada, yada. But it seemed like whenever they say that, then the next person that come up or somebody else that come up, then they got to go back into their hood. And it seemed like they trying to out-hood each other.
Right.
Oh, well, you used to smoke crack.
Yeah.
Well, I used to sniff heroin. Oh, well, I used to have prostitutes.
Went straight to the vein.
Like,
brother, let me tell you what
Jesus
done for me.
Right. Everybody try to out-Jesus folks. Like, man, chill out. We get it.
Similar situation.
So basically, I'm taking it from this week in Blackness. I'm basically inferring that if I want to have a better week in Blackness experience, I need to go to the Black church.
Oh.
That's basically what y'all are telling me.
That's a built-in. That's like a built-in this week in Blackness every week. I try to diversify it and try to use different stories, but I could just use church stuff every single week.
Right.
Just watching the BET Awards is not going to cut it for me. I need to go to the Black church.
BET,
all right.
It's pretty black. That'll get you there. But the BET Awards don't happen every week. That's your problem.
But I'm gonna say,
no, it does not.
I'm gonna say the blackest thing then that I could talk about is gonna be Thursday night NBA draft. Oh man, yeah. I love it. I love watching the NBA draft. To me, this is where black people get their reparations. All these, we was promised 40 acres and a mule. We didn't get it, so now we gonna get it because you gonna overpay us for this basketball talent out here. You're going to overpay us.
Overcharging you for what you did to the Cold Crush.
You're going to overpay us for dunking. You're going to overpay us for layups. You're going to overpay us for free throws, three-pointers, whatever you want. You're going to overpay us for us because you owe it with interest. So thank God for the collective bargaining agreement. Got to watch the NBA draft again. We
all watched it.
Yes, we all watched it, and we kind of we always on the group me and we talking about it, going back and forth. And I like to see black men coming up.
Is it mandatory viewing? Is it mandatory viewing if you're black? You have to watch the NBA draft.
No, I ain't gonna say that. I ain't gonna say that because I love the NFL draft for the very same reason. I just like seeing black people come up because they ain't got no money. They out there stunting. They grandmama out there. They auntie out there. Everybody out there. You trying to figure out who's the girlfriend, who's the mama. You don't really know because they look about the same age. And it's like, for me, it's just great.
Hey.
Then they walk on that stage and they just like, I'm rich, and I love
Pay
it.
me.
Yeah, I love it.
I love it too. I love it too, man. It's definitely fun. Always great to see the speculation, and honestly, nobody really knows how any of these dudes are going to pan out. But they all be talking like they know exactly what's going to happen, and nobody knows nothing. But it's fun. I got to check it all the time. So I definitely caught it. You guys know I caught it. So we talk about it more here in a minute.
And
what you think?
Within that blackness, though, the blackest thing that happened was Paul's Momma mock draft. Paul,
that's right.
Paul was going through. He is ranking the players' mothers and how good they looked, and we're gonna have to go to him for his top 5.
You can toss it to me. Okay,
we're just gonna do it right off the bat, man. What's your top 5 Momma mock draft?
Every year, just set this up. Every year, we watch the NBA draft and we have a little group chat going. So I usually like to just make it light. I'm always with the jokes, whether it's personal, professional. I like the jokes. So I like watching the draft, and like Ryan said, you like checking out the family, seeing them shining, and they always turn the camera on the family at the table. You see the guy. It's all invariably always with the mama. Sadly, there's not a lot of dads at these tables. A lot of times, it's about 50-50 with the dads. There's a couple sisters there, but the mom's there. And so now I've reached the point in my age where I like to check out the moms. I'm not really checking for the sisters, the younger sisters or the girlfriends, because they're probably way too young. But the moms, they're probably 35, 40 years old. So quickly, I'm going to go through my top 4 moms list from the 2018 NBA draft. And you guys, you guys can Google these if you want, and just if you want to hit me up in the comments and say these weren't the best ones, let me know.
This ain't even the blackest thing from the draft. This is just the most Paul thing from the draft.
This is the Paul thing from the draft.
This is the Paulist thing of the draft.
Yeah. So top number one. So top number 1 is Luka Doncic, the number 5 pick. Went to Dallas, which is Ish's team. His mother is a former model. Her name is Mirjam Potterbin. I don't know where she's from. Slovenia, I guess. But she is all kinds of fine. Definitely Google this.
Okay.
And the funny thing about this was literally right after Luka got drafted in this same thing. Not only is Paul playing this game, but there's another very famous person that's also playing the same mom draft game. That is one Andre Iguodala of the Golden State Warriors. And immediately after Luka was drafted and the mom came across the screen, Andre Iguodala decided to tweet, quote unquote, "Mom's decent," with 3 exclamation points, end quote. That's what he put out there as soon as he saw Luka's mom. So Andre Iguodala approves this pick as my number 1 top mom, Luka Doncic's mom, Mirjam Potterbin. Number 2. You gotta check it out. Number 2, Mikal Bridges. This was the dude, went to Villanova, won 2 championships, and got drafted originally by the 76ers. And his mom actually works for the 76ers. And so that was the big feel-good story. Like, the hometown kid's going to go work with his mom.
She was my number 1.
Yeah, she was up there. So she was beaming. She thought, hey, my son's gonna come work for me at the company, blah blah. 30 minutes later, his ass got drafted.
They traded him. Man, that was the saddest story that I've ever seen. They was up there crying. They was having like a thank God and 76ers family, blah blah. They could have told that man that he was on the trade block and they had something going, so he wouldn't have to talk about it.
It was great. It was. I think he went to the. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he went to the Suns, right? I think he went to the Suns. Is that right?
It wasn't the Suns.
It could be the Suns. But anyway, he got traded. He was not in the 76ers. The mom is going to I'm sure she took off this week to celebrate the draft. I'm sure she's got to go back to work tomorrow. She's going to be mad as a mug. They're going to have to figure something out. But this is not going to end well for the 76ers. I don't know why they did this, but hey, the mom's looking good. So shouts to her. Number 3, Zaire Smith's mom. I forgot where Zaire went to, what team he went to.
Oh, you're right. He went to the Suns.
He went to the Suns. Okay, but Zaire Smith, I don't know where he got drafted from, but his mom, I don't know her name. She's got the real short haircut, but this lady is super buff. This lady has never missed a workout day in her life. This lady has been she could her traps are better than mine for real. And I work out every day. Her back is solid. I mean, she was looking good in that back. So number 3 is Zaire Smith's mom. Google this again. If you need the pictures, just shout out to Black Delegates Pod. I'll forward you the screenshots. It's no big deal. Then number 4, Miles Bridges. So not Mikhail Bridges. That was number 2. Miles Bridges' mom. I believe it's his mom. It might be his sister, but she was looking very good as well. So that rounds up my bottom 4. Now for the losers. The moms that are the not hot moms. I'm sorry. I got 2. Yeah, I'm sorry. It's going downhill from here, Ish. Dante DiVincenzo. I'm sorry. Dante, hey, you're a great player. You definitely dominated in the championship game. But your mom, she looks like one of the chicks from that Marky Mark movie, The Fighter, where he's the boxer. She looks like one of the sisters from there. So I'm sorry, Dante. That's your mom. And then the bottom. I'm sorry. Hey, I know you guys. We were going back and forth yesterday in the group chat about the guy that the Grizzlies picked versus Mo Bamba.
Yeah.
Mo Bamba's mom, Mama Bamba, is a no-go, baby. Mama Bamba is a no-go. Mama Bamba looks like she's had a rough life. I'm gonna leave her alone. She did not even smile when he got drafted. That wig just was sitting there on her top of her head at a 75-degree angle, and she did not look happy. So Mama Bamba, I feel bad for you, but you were the lowest ranked mom in this NBA draft. I apologize, but congratulations to your son.
Is that Mrs. Irrelevant? Is that what you're saying?
She should be, but hey, she's got plenty of money now. She can get all the wigs she wants, and try to put a smile on her face, because there was no smile when her son got drafted, unfortunately. But that's the list. I'm sure this is like causing all kind of problematic issues for the podcast. I'm sure we're gonna get a ton of hate mail.
Exactly.
Feel free to send it. I don't care, because I ain't checking none of it, and I ain't on social media. So do what you want. I don't care.
About to lose 70% of our listeners now. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate you.
Let the record show that I did not diss anybody's mom in the group chat either. I didn't say anything. This was all Paul. I was giving out props where props was due. I did name about maybe the top 3, and then I was kind of out of it at that point. But shout out to Mikhail Bridges' mama. She was fine.
Don't get fired. Don't get fired, Mikhail Bridges' mama. Just keep the job. Don't lose sight of the bag. There you got a good job going there.
All I gotta say is, if you run into a chick that works for an NBA basketball team in the front office, and she can get you tickets, and she fine, woo! We don't need but a couple dates.
Oh yeah,
Wifer. All right. So what we got next? Let's get serious out here. Let's get serious.
Permit Patty.
Let's get serious.
Permit Patty.
All right, in this week of why are the cops being called on black people, we have water while black. Hashtag permit Patty. All right, so fellas, I was scanning the internets and came across this little story on the Huffington Post about a white woman who saw a little black girl selling water outside her apartment building, and she called the cops. Didn't think much of it at first. The little girl was about 8 years old. Her mother was apparently doing the video, and she's just like, oh, like, this lady thought it was a good idea to call the cops on my daughter for selling water. And so did y'all get a chance to look at that video and the Twitter aftermath? Because that's what I enjoyed the most.
Yeah. I think the whole world's seen this by now. This was definitely trending the other day. So yeah, I think so. This was in San Francisco too, right? It was in San Fran, right?
Yes, San Francisco.
Okay.
What about you, Ish?
Gotcha.
Yeah, I saw the video. I saw the hashtag Permit Patty was popping on Twitter. I really didn't follow it that day. What day did this happen?
It happened like Friday, I thought. Because I saw it when I was at work.
Yeah.
And then I ignored
Friday
it, and then Saturday night I looked at it again, and I was like, wow, like the internet is roasting her.
Yeah, well, it was Saturday when the video was posted on Instagram Saturday. So I kind of unplug on the news during the weekends because I work in news. So I saw the hashtag. I didn't really follow the internet aftermath, but I did watch the video and I did see what it was about.
Man, all I gotta say, if you've seen the video, if you see the outfit she's got on, those like capri pants and those like flip flops she's got on, that definitely means she's gonna call the cops. That's the call the cops outfit right there. Like if you see a mom, if you see a white lady with bleached hair and she got those capri pants and those sandals, she is definitely calling the police on you. That is fact. But part I love was when she ducked down.
Ducked down
like, when she ducked down, that had me dying laughing.
Right.
So.
Like the lady couldn't just walk around the wall to continue to get that video of it.
Yeah.
But shouts to the internet, man. It's amazing, like just how this little incident it goes viral, whatever like that, and then just the whole internet just takes on a life of its own, and just there's the memes and there's all the little jokes and things like that. Man, it just makes it entertaining. Like it's like I'd rather be arrested. Just send me to jail for calling the cops on somebody. Just send me to jail for calling on somebody I shouldn't have called cops on. Then get roasted like this and live in infamy for the rest of my life as Permit Patty. Right. I would not want that.
And because the crazy part is like how quickly they found this lady's real name, where she works, like what kind of business dealing she had going on, and she got fired for one of them.
If it's on the internet and you want to find out, it can be uncovered. Look, if you need Luka Doncic's mom's information, just let me know. I got it all for you.
Yeah, Paul does find people's names so fast, just off like, who is that? And he'd be like, here it is.
Hey, I'm good at research. I'm good at Google, man. What can I say? I'm good at Google.
Right, and it's crazy. It's like there's a hot day outside. You see a kid selling water. Like, what are the thoughts that go to hit? Like, oh, I'm thirsty. Let me go buy what a girl was selling water for $2, which is about what you're going to pay at a gas station or a little drugstore or whatever. But instead of that, she's like, no, I'm going to call the police because I bet she don't have a permit. Like, what kind of person does that?
Man, exactly. Like, man, like in my neighborhood where I live at, there's all these little white kids living out here, and they all selling lemonade. I mean, I literally passed like 2-3 lemonade little setup stands just driving through the neighborhood, a couple neighborhoods today. So, like, man, this is like something that just goes on in San Francisco. I guess it's a little bit more urban, maybe, whatever. But man, it's little kids. Just let that mess slide, man. Just come on. And it's water. It's not like they slanging hash. And the crazy thing about this is this lady, her job is making like pot snacks for pets.
Right. Right.
She because she lives in California, she's got a loophole where the state allows her to sell marijuana infused products that are for pets, and that's what the internet figured out her job was. That's crazy. So she's selling pot to dogs, and that's okay, but you can't. These little girls can't sell $2 waters for whatever.
So a drug dealer just called the cops on the black girl for selling water. Let the
record show.
What a time to be alive! What a time to be alive, man.
Yeah. Hey, and she was serious too, because she didn't back down. Because when the lady filming is like, you're really gonna call the cops on my 8-year-old daughter for selling water outside her residence, and she's like, yeah, without a permit, yes. I'm like, what?
Right, and the lady's like, that's on my property. She's like, no, that's not your property.
Right.
So, but luckily, as Paul alluded to, and actually I think, Ryan, you were about to say it earlier, they did find her identity. They found out her business, and she was actually being featured in a documentary about her little pet marijuana business. And so people, when they found that out, they started to, at the director of that documentary, and he was out of the country, so it took him a couple hours to respond. But once he got online, he was like, oh, I just saw, people were atting me about this incident. What's the lady's name? Something Edel.
Alicia Edel. No, Allison.
Allison Edel. He's like, I just saw stuff about Allison Edel. We were featuring her in her documentary, but we do not put up with racism. He was like, we're deleting her out of the documentary. We're no longer promoting her business. So like you said, Ryan, she got fired basically for being racist and just being an idiot. They're
going to remove her storyline from the film and all film materials.
Right.
So it's not. This is already done. It's not like they were gonna do it and they decided not to. They were just like, no, we pulling all the footage with her on there. That's crazy.
So because you wanted to be an idiot, you just lost who knows how much money and how much free advertising basically that you would have got from that documentary.
So who? Okay, just last question on this subject before we move on to the next one. So if you had to hang out with one of the two, would you rather hang out with Barbecue Becky or Permit Patty? I just need to know if there was one of the two.
Oh, man.
You can't say no to both. You have to pick one. Who you riding with? Or do you want to ride with the black dude from St. Louis that was on the phone, the one that really kicked the true originator, the originator of the I'm calling the cops.
Yeah.
Me.
Dude from St. Louis with the glasses is the ultimate meme. You gotta hang with him because he would probably just say outlandish stuff all the time.
I forgot to put it in the group chat, man. Somebody like caught up with him at his job or something this week or something like that and made a video. Like he was like threatening them. And he was like, "Hey, man, you can't do that or something like that, man. You know what you guys have been doing to my family or something like that." Wow. So I don't know. I gotta find that dude and send that little link.
Yeah, my sister has seen him just out and about a couple times, I think. So
with the snug polo shirt on.
Yo, what could your life be like if you're a meme? Everybody knows you, and you're a meme. Like, do people just automatically take out
a regular dude?
Do they want to take pictures with you? Do they want to get your autograph? Yeah. Like, you famous. Like, that's hood famous.
Yeah, people probably just want selfies, So it's like you got the annoyances of being famous without the money. Because at least you rich. If I'm a famous actor or an NBA player, at least I'm rich. So, all right, people going to come bug me all the time. But you ain't even got that. Like, you work at McDonald's and people want to take pictures with you. Although I guess locally you might have some perks. Like when Paul was asking that question, I was going to say, yeah, give me the black dude because I might be able to get into a little club because they're going to think, all right, well, he's a commodity, even though, he's a meme. So people going to be interested in him. So he might get you in a little club or get you a little discount or something like that. Where the white lady's just gonna call the cops on you and get you arrested. So,
good luck to her. I think the social backlash that's happening to races around the country.
STL phone dude. If you ever want to come to the podcast, let us know. If you want to explain yourself on the Black Delegates pod, let us know. STL phone dude. We'll be happy to take you.
Do y'all remember what exactly he was doing when they did that meme? I don't even remember.
It was Ferguson. It was Ferguson related. It was something about Ferguson related. I can't remember exactly what he did now. I have to look it up. But yeah, it was Ferguson related, like calling the cops on maybe there was some kind of protest or like some kind of like demonstration. I think he was calling the cops on somebody. As I recall, it's been a long time, and I don't live in St. Louis, so I shouldn't know this at all. But
we need to do a podcast on that, like memes, like black memes or something like that, or just break down our favorite meme. Do the history.
Put it on the list. Put it on the list.
Yeah, sure.
I'll do that. All right. So let's see. We got our next topic is this is yours, Ishmael. Taken 2, the Popo edition.
Popo.
So can you give us some background on this story?
Yeah, man. And I promise all the listeners, when we came up with this idea, or Ryan came up with the idea of the Black Delegates, we didn't just intend to talk about racist stories or stories about white people calling the police on us or stories about the police just being racist, but it just happens so much that we feel like we have to highlight it. So we always end up having 2 or 3 stories about that. So this is a story that happened in Ohio. There was a police officer, let me find his name, John Kovach Jr., and basically what happened is he pulled over an 18-year-old black man, Makai Coleman, and there's a dash cam footage that shows what happened. This actually was back a few months ago, I think in April, but it just kind of hit the news again because there was just a resolution with the police force. So anyway, Officer Kovach pulls over Makai Coleman. He's just sitting on this street waiting for him to come. And when Coleman passed him, he throws on the lights, pulls him over. So he pulls over to the side of the road. The officer goes up to the passenger door and immediately just tries to open the door. He just pulls the handle of the door. The door was locked. So then he walks around to the driver's side. He pulls the handle on the driver's side door, which is unlocked this time, and he tells Makai Coleman, get out the car. He's like, what? Like, what are you doing? Why are you pulling me over? He's like, get out the car. You're going to jail. have a seat in my car. And he's like, going to jail for what? And the officer literally says, we'll make stuff up. We'll make stuff up as we go. Says this out loud. This is on his dash cam. So anyway, he goes, takes the black dude, Coleman, puts him in the back of the squad car. Black dude is compliant. He's asking questions, but he's compliant. He didn't fight with him. He's just like, what are you doing? I didn't do anything, yada, yada. So then Kovac goes back to the car, starts arguing with the girl in the front seat of the car, telling her he's going to give her a ticket for not having her seatbelt on. The girl says, I had my seatbelt on. He's like, no, well, you can go argue that in court. So the girl's mom, he's actually parked in front of this girl's house. Her mom comes outside, and she's asking him, hey, what's going on? He says, yo, my daughter's over at your house. You know, I tracked her. My daughter, you know, she's in your house. She's like, no, she's not in my house. He said, well, her laptop is here. You know, I need to search your property. So the lady said, okay, you can search. Your daughter's not here. You can look fine. So then when he's threatening to give her daughter the ticket and he just talking crazy to everybody, just being disrespectful. So the lady's like, look, you can't come in my house unless you got a warrant now. And she said, matter of fact, I'm going to go call 911 because you're harassing me. You're harassing my daughter. And this guy's just adamant. He's looking for his daughter. He claims she's suicidal and that, you know, he is working within his rights as a police officer doing an investigation to find his daughter, who he thinks has run off with this black man. And this is a white police officer. The black man that's in the car. And so the lady says she's going to call 911. He tells her he's going to take her to jail for calling 911 because it's not an emergency. So he's threatened the black dude. He's threatened the daughter. Now he's threatening his mother, all because he needs to find his daughter who is, you know, possibly doing something bad. Or he says she's suicidal, yada, yada. So as he's threatening this lady's daughter, he takes a look in the car, and his daughter has been sitting in the car the entire time.
That's the funny part. That is the crazy part.
This whole incident where he just going off on people. His daughter sitting in the car the whole time. What's funny is she didn't say nothing. Nobody snitched. None of her friends in the back snitched because it was two of
her friends was down.
Can you imagine how her stomach was feeling while she was sitting back there knowing her dad is just going embarrassing the life out of her and making this whole big scene? I know she was like, I know she wanted to melt down into that floorboard. Exactly. You know it.
And so after that, he tells the daughter to get out the car. So she gets out. He tells her go get in the car. He goes back to the black dude, Coleman, told him get out, you know, basically get out the car. Then he shoves his daughter in there. She's protesting saying, look, I'm 18. You don't have a right to, you know, are you arresting me? What are you doing? He's just like, just get in the car. So he shoves her into the car, shuts the door, and basically drives off. So that's the story. I guess I'll open it up for y'all. I have some more things to add, but I'll just open it up to y'all and see what do y'all think about this story, because it's just crazy. And like I said, it's on video as well.
Okay,
I'm let you hit this one right first.
Let me go first.
You actually got daughters. You actually got daughters.
First. Yes, sir. And I'm gonna tell you, this is exactly how I would handle it too.
Exactly. Amen, brother. Amen, brother. Hey, I don't feel bad for this dude at all. I'm sorry. Hey, Ish.
I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you.
That's how I do it.
That's legit.
I'm gonna legit. Yes, it was, man. It's 1 minute of gloriousness that you would tell any dude that's dating your daughter. You know,
but legit, if you were on the other end of that phone when that dude called and gave you that long ass soliloquy, wouldn't you hey man, just bring the money, or your daughter's dead, and just hang the phone? Like, why are you gonna listen to this?
I wouldn't, because if somebody spent that much time saying all that, man, they legit can do everything they just said. He was extra calm. That's who you got to worry about. You got to worry about the people that's calm in a terrible situation. But straight up, man, all right. So let's say dude is wrong for using his police car and pulling people over and doing all this kind of stuff, blah, blah, blah. But at the same time, man, if you for real out here looking for your daughter and you a cop, you probably gonna do it that way, because that's just how you do it. Luckily, nothing happened, really. You know what I'm saying? He was, I worry that he's out there talking about he going to send people to jail and he basically going to make up stuff to put him in jail. I don't know if he was just threatening them. Maybe he's just saying it just to be saying. But black, white, Mexican, whatever you are, green, yellow, purple, if that's your daughter and you're looking for her, you're going to do what you got to do to find her. Now, I don't know how stupid I feel if she in the back seat. You know what I'm saying? All this time while I'm going through all this, risking my livelihood out here. You know, anything could have popped off in that situation. Somebody could have, done something stupid, and then you got to pull out a gun. You know what I'm saying? And then things go wrong. Shout out to that black dude for remaining calm in that situation, because he also could have messed up. Now, he did kind of mess up at the end, though, because when he was putting his daughter, he's telling her to get in the car, bro, you need to leave. Like, this ain't your problem, man. Like, you need to get in your car. You need to go, because you are a young black boy in these streets, and that dude is a cop. And at any point in time, he could have shot you. It's not on camera. He could have said you reach for his gun, and your life is over. And we definitely don't want to see people in those situations. But I feel the cop, man. I mean, I got a daughter. She's 17. And, if I'm looking for her, it's probably going to be by any means necessary. So,
yeah. Yeah, I'm 100% with you, man. I don't have a daughter, but I got like nieces. I got a niece, and you know, when we had our kid a few years ago, like, man, I remember, like, you know, would it be a boy or a girl? And I remember, like, you know, kind of, I wasn't caring whatever as long as it's healthy. But I remember thinking, like, when we found out it was a boy, I was like, oh, thank the Lord, because I know I'm gonna have to, because I knew it was gonna be a girl. I knew it was gonna be a pretty girl, and I knew I was gonna shoot somebody eventually. I knew I was gonna have to go to jail eventually, because this is how I think, man. I'm like, hey, man, this is my little girl or whoever, my niece. I love my nieces to death, man. If I ever find anybody mess with them, they all still in high school right now, so they just now starting to get the age where they're dating and stuff like that. But anybody hear anything like this, man, even if it ain't nothing bad, but if you just, you know, treating them wrong and I hear about it, right, hey, man, I'm gonna have to do something. And I ain't no cop. I'm gonna have to figure out something, man. But I'm gonna have to let you know, like, that it ain't going down like that. And I know, Ryan, we've had this conversation. You told me about little incidents and things like that where you had to, like, lay the law down. And man, this is how it is nowadays, man. But you know, this cop, he did take it too far, way too far. You shouldn't have gone this far, you know. I mean, because you're in uniform, you know, you got the gun on you, and that's. You know, telling the mom that she can't go, you know, you can go through her possessions and all the stuff like that. She shouldn't call 911. That he went way too far. But I understand where he was trying to go. You know, trying to look out for his daughter the best way he thought how. And it is one of those tough situations, man. I'm gonna give him a pass on this one. He probably is gonna lose his job. That's unfortunate. But hopefully he can. You know, right now he just needs to focus on getting back in good grace with his daughter, and hopefully his family's all right, man. Because this could definitely divide the family up, because it sounds like this dude, the boyfriend, I guess he's getting ready to go off to the military, and I know how that is. You know, that adds a strain, because you're not going to be seeing them. You know, but you know, it's just tough, man. So hopefully that dude, if the dude's had any problems, I guess he's had some convictions for marijuana possession, some other little minor stuff. But he sounds like he's going to the military. That sounds like a good move. Maybe straighten his life out a little bit. You know, and hopefully you know. They can make it work out, but man, you got to figure all that family stuff out, man. That's the hard part.
Hey, don't mess with chicks that's got cops for daddies. Come on, man.
Hey, yeah.
Come on, man. I'm gonna tell my son that. Oh, is her dad a cop? Leave her alone.
Man,
you gotta watch that.
In a series of low alt-right notes on the Black Delegates podcast, I think this ranks up there at the top, or maybe at the bottom of the things. Paul is sitting here trying to tell the brother he needs to get his life together and the military's good. You're talking about, the cop may lose his job. That's unfortunate.
Good job.
First of all,
Trump
doesn't matter. You can roll that out. The cop did get fired. That's why the story ended up getting brought back into the news cycle, because he was fired.
Okay.
It went to he actually lied about the situation, what happened. He told the cops that...
Oh, you knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, he told the internal investigators that this guy was speeding and he was driving reckless. That's why he pulled him over. But his dash cam shows that that's not what happened. The police also, they tried to call him to another actual crime that was being committed. And because he was out here threatening and lying and intimidating people. He didn't hear the call and he missed it. Then he lied and said, well, I called the officer and he told me they didn't need help. So that was another reason. So he's already gotten fired.
Hey, I wondered, was he making up the whole suicide thing too? As like a threat to, because you were on a 24-hour watch or a 72-hour watch or whatever.
Yeah, with that, I don't know. It may have been, there wasn't a lot in the news articles on it, but it's possible that she may have been. But to me, it seems like this officer, number one, would he have been like that if it wasn't a black dude? If her daughter wasn't dating a black man, would he have been so concerned and so serious about it? I don't think so.
That's the part. But see, but I think he might have. If the dude, I mean, you can be white and be kind of not a good person, or had some troubles, and the parents have concerns about you. I could see it. I personally would have concerns if I thought I had concerns. I could feel, again, he went way too far. He did all the wrong things, but I could see where you could get into that mindset, regardless of the skin color. But maybe that added to it. I can't say, but
wouldn't matter to me.
It's just one of those things, man.
Wouldn't matter to me at all what they were at that point. Like, you gone, I'm looking for you. I can't find you, and and you just rolling around in the car.
Yeah, and it's from the article it says, I guess he's not married to the mom anymore, so he's not seeing the daughter every day. I guess the last time he saw her, she was saying she wanted to kill herself, and then the mom, they're reading some Facebook posts from the daughter or the boyfriend or whatever like that. So it's not. It's a touchy situation, man. It's a family issue, and I don't know. I can't really say if there's race involved or not.
It's a family issue until you go around waving your badge, threatening people. Again, he's threatening to take this young black man to jail. He's threatening to take the mother to jail. He's threatening to give him a ticket that's unwarranted.
Miss Morales,
Miss Morales, the brown lady. He's threatening to take her to jail. He's threatening to ticket her daughter a $300 ticket, even though she probably was wearing her seatbelt, because they argue back and forth a lot. So I can't give him a pass on that. Like, you're abusing your authority, and there's too many black and brown people that are victims of this. Like, how many times has this happened where there wasn't clear-cut evidence? Because a lot of times a cop, they just going to turn off that dash cam, and then you just left to fend for it. It's just, hey, and he even said at one point, and I think this was when he was talking to Morales' daughter, Mrs. Morales' daughter, when she said, I had my seatbelt on, he was like, okay, well, you go to court and argue that. Like, so he just flaunting it. Like, they going to believe me before they believe you. Yeah. So I can't ride with that, man. I can't. I'm glad he was fired. I hope that he does not get another position. I understand you're being worried about your daughter, but number one, if she's 18, she's an adult. So she don't have to do what you say. She don't have to.
Man, that don't matter. If she's 35 years old and I think she's in trouble, I'm riding. She ain't grown. I'm calling Ryan and we riding.
Yeah, 18 is technically grown, but she probably still living with her mama. She ain't grown.
Man, hey, if she's 35 years old and she's made some bad decisions, there's a point where you got to cut things off. But man, you just that's your baby girl, and it's always gonna be. I don't care if she's 18,
you
35,
23,
65.
You 23, 25, something like that. I ain't finna be talking about get in my car, let's go. Like, that's on you now. But she 18, man. That's borderline. She's still a child.
But he's still kidnapping that child.
Hey, all I know is if I have a girl, my nieces, I don't care, black, white, brown, green, I don't care. I don't care what you Klingon, I don't care. Hey, hurt them, say something funny about them.
Paul got a particular set of skills.
That's got a particular set of skills. Yeah.
One shot, one kill, and he'll do your taxes.
I will find you. I will find you. I might get my ass beat, but I will find you.
Oh, and of course, like I said, he got fired, but he is not accepting that result. He is fighting it, saying that the city violated his rights by firing him. So
he going too far now. Like, you still did what you did.
He lost his mind. Yeah, so just take the L, man. Take the L. What city was this in? Where is Lorraine? What is
they were in Ohio.
Ohio. Okay.
So I don't know if there's what bigger city that this is a part of, but yeah, it's in Ohio.
Okay, gotcha. Yep, sad situation, but hopefully they get the family stuff sorted out. What else we got next, Ryan?
Got nothing next, to be honest. That's it.
We done?
Yep.
All right. Hey, it was a quickie.
It was.
I like it.
What we're looking like? Oh, under an hour.
Under an hour
Finally.
for the first time in history.
All right.
I don't know if I should drag this on for 21 minutes.
Don't worry, listeners. I'm gonna come back next week with a 30-minute week in Blackness. Don't worry, guys.
That was the difference. Paul didn't have a week in Brownness. He ain't had no long one.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, we usually got a
gardening
15 minutes
and fixing the roof and killing snakes.
I don't want to hear about your door and the bed. Oh, come on now.
Remember that from the first episode? That was trash. Y'all talked about a door for 20 minutes.
That door was fire.
How to fix a door and put up barn doors on the bedroom, and I had to take all of that out the podcast. Thank God the listeners.
Hey, y'all asked me about it. I wasn't going to just talk about it. You were like, no, we got to talk about this mattress and we got to talk about this bed. No, that was you.
I did ask about the mattress, but Paul started acting about, no, this door. Let me show you how to do it. I was like, man, come on. Well, we spared the people on that one. All right, All right, so I guess Black Podcast I want to shout out this week is the Black Guy Who Tips podcast. Yes, that's what it's called. That's what it's called,
ain't
man.
Never invited
Great
Ryan
name.
on that joint.
Ryan, you're not even allowed to listen to this.
Y'all need to stop. Y'all gotta stop, man. It's just unfactual that you keep saying I don't tip when I clearly do. Is that a word? I don't know.
No, it's not. Neither
neither
is your tipping.
Whatever. I tip. So
you're gonna cut all this
anyway,
out.
You messed it up. I'm not gonna cut it out. I'm gonna leave it in. But Black Guy Who Tips podcast. First of all, it has the best Walking Dead reviews by Black people ever in the history of the internet. I love it. I listen to my white people talk about the show. Then I go in for the real review, which is with Black people. Because it's totally different. It's totally different. Different vibe. It's different explanations. They catch on to different things that Black people are talking about, like why they ain't do this, why they ain't do that. It's just different. So I really enjoy it. He has cool segments that I wish I had thought of, like sword ratchetness. Like every week they have like a sword story where somebody was killed or hurt badly by a sword. That's cool. What else? He reads off like a rap verse at the beginning of every episode. Totally wish I could have got that one. I could have stole that. But yeah, good show. Black Guy Who Tips. So y'all check it out. I'm sure he has a big following anyway, but I'm a fan.
Yeah, check it out. We'll throw that on the show notes as well.
Well, other than that, where can they find us, Ishmael?
Yo, you can follow the Black Delegates podcast on Twitter and Instagram at Black Delegates. There's an underscore between Black and Delegates. If you want to follow Ryan on Twitter, he is at the Black Ryan. If you want to follow me, I am at Ish Creates. If you're on the Facebook, we are also there at Black Delegates Pod. Make sure that you subscribe, that you like, that you share, and that you rate, especially on iTunes. That is very important. Hit us up on the iTunes. And we are creeping near 1,000. I know it sounds like a big number. It's taking us a while to get there, but we are about to hit over the 1,000 mark. So we're appreciative that people are listening and tuning in. Ryan, what do you have to add for us?
I want to say shout out to California, the state of California, because I was looking at our numbers geography-wise, and California was like in the top 3, at least in June, and I'm surprised because, we're from Missouri, myself and Ishmael, and Paul, I don't think he has anybody listened into the show because we had nothing in North Carolina, so... well, I don't know what you're doing over there, man, but you need to share the podcast. But
I literally don't even know anybody living in North Carolina except for myself. So.
Yeah, so we had Missouri, Illinois, because I go to church in Illinois, so I figured I got a couple people I can get on, and that's probably the bulk of our listeners right there anyway. And then California was killing it.
Yeah, last month Cali had more than Illinois.
Wow. Yeah, man, that's crazy. I don't really know who those people are. I guess Miss Phenom out there, Mama Phenom. But other than that, I don't know anybody out there.
She out there. We got some folks that we went to high school with, or at least one out there. Shout out to Joe from the Marching Podcast. I know he's out there. I think he's tuned in from
what up,
time
Joe?
to time. I got a couple other partners out there that may or may not be listening. I don't know. California is a huge state, so
since is your mama inclined enough to sign up for different IP addresses so that she can seem like she's listening from different states?
Probably not.
She got the VPN going.
Yeah. She know how to do all that. IT specialist.
Probably not.
Okay. All right. So I guess who else we got? My mom listened to some podcasts about halfway through. My pastor went on a trip this weekend, and she said she listened to all the podcasts. I was just like, wow. Okay. She said she loves it, so that means I am approved by Jesus. So that's cool. So that means I'm keeping it clean, and so doing what I got to do to help the earth. All right. So we'll see y'all next week. That's it. Peace.
All right. Later,
That was a terrible ending.
Hey, man. You ain't got to have no ending. Sometimes
That
you ain't got
was
nothing.
awful.
Sometimes you ain't got nothing. Well, why don't you go ahead and do something? Make up an ending.
Is it? Nope.
I'll leave
Let's
it
get
in.
out of here. I'm leaving
No,
it
do
with
it.
your terrible ending. See you next week, folks. Appreciate you. Peace.
I'm hitting stop now.